Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire Service. Mike Joseph is with us. Everybody in the Hazleton area, of course, throughout northeastern Pennsylvania, they think of basketball. They think of Mike Joseph. And Mike, you got a basketball skills camp coming up here July 12th through the 15th for boys grades 4 through 9. Something that you've done for a long time. You've done a lot of basketball camps, plenty of experience, plenty of fun. This time, we're going to do it at the CVCD. Hold on. I think I screwed that up. CVCO, right. All right. So I'm just going to kind of pick it up from there. It's going to be at the CVCO gym in Cunningham. So, Mike, let's talk about the excitement for the camp coming up.
Well, I've done this for a long time, probably 30 years of being involved in basketball camps, starting all the way back in the 1990s as a former player, working the camps for Coach Live, and then kind of taking them over, nearly 20 years ago, and running these camps, these types of camps, skills camps. And we also used to do a team camp that was at Bucknell, it was at Lehigh, it was at East Stroudsburg. So we have myself, my staff that I have in place, several of my former coaches have a lot of experience in running camps. And, this is the time, when players have an opportunity to kind of develop their skills, from the youngest level, 4th through 6th grade, to the kids that, 7th through 9th grade are going to try and, compete for spots on their middle school teams or the freshman team next year. And, I've said this probably every first day of camp that I've had, for nearly 3 decades is, this is, kind of the most exciting time, for a coach to see kind of into the future, see some of these young players, see some of the potential that they have. I remember a young Sal Biazzi at camp years ago, as a 5th grader making a no-look left-handed behind the back pass to somebody for a layup. And I'm thinking, I think that kid's going to be pretty good someday. And, it's been tough, I think, over the course of the last 2 years because of the pandemic to be in situations like this with groups of kids. And I think, we're at the stage now where I think things, can safely run, where kids could be in a gym, working on skills, competing against one another, having fun. And that's what this camp is intended to do.
Mike, you'll be able to pull kids from the Hazleton area, the Schuylkill area, you get some kids from the Wyoming Valley. It's not too far of a drive to come out and check out what it's about. You mentioned that excitement and those first impressions. And, as you say, I remember being a young kid and going to various camps. It becomes great memories, but it's always that little spark that somebody inspires you or something that you really kind of get that bug for the game of basketball.
Absolutely. And, sometimes kids, we'll have a range of different types of experience here. You'll have kids that have been at camps before. You'll have kids that have never been at camp before. This is their first experience. And, it can light that fire under somebody. Well, hey, this is a pretty neat game. I think I could be pretty good at it if I work at some of these things that the coaches are teaching me. And, I've seen it. I've seen kids that have, come through our camp from the time they were in 3rd or 4th grade all the way through their freshman year. And I've seen them grow and develop and mature. And then a lot of those kids went on to be really successful players at Hazleton area high school. And it's just, and again, it could just be an experience where somebody just wants to come out and maybe see if basketball's for them and maybe make a few friends. And we do a lot of fun competitions at camp, and we try and keep it really, light in terms of expectations, but they'll compete against one another. Obviously, when you put somebody in a situation where they're going against another person or a group of people in a team situation, it's going to get competitive, no doubt about it. But, we try and keep it fun. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's definitely, has always been kind of the highlight of the off season for me when I was the coach, was to see, into the future what's out there and the young players in the area. And we're just hoping to give that same kind of fun overall basketball experience again, July 12th to the 15th down at the CVCO.
And this is grades 4 through 9. As you mentioned the word fun, these kids are going to go home. They're going to tell their parents, hey, what'd you do today? Hey, we had fun. But let's talk a little bit about the structure of the course of the day and what that looks like for these kids. Obviously, you're going to establish a little bit of what a work ethic looks like. Hey, this is what you're going to need to do. You might have to take, 100 shots a day or 200 shots a day, depending on their age level.
Yeah, what we try to do is, try and get them into a routine. In the classroom, I try and get my students the first few days into a routine. And at camp, it's no different, and again, some of the campers probably haven't been in front of a teacher maybe in an entire year or 15 months because they did virtual the entire year. So, the first, day or two will be just getting them into a routine. And, we work on skills that are very important, I think, from getting them used to starting a workout by, going through a dynamic warm-up, going through dribbling lines, doing stations where we'll emphasize offensive and defensive things, whether it's offensive moves or 3-on-3 basketball, or being in a proper defensive stance, or defensive positioning, help and recover, those types of things. And then we'll get them into competitions. We'll go through 1-on-1 competition, 3-on-3, hot shots, knockouts. We'll play 5-on-5. So each day will kind of be a progression on where we'll teach a skill, build on it from the day before, teach them something new, and by the end of the week, have hopefully built a pretty good foundation for them that they could, I've always said this for 30 years. I heard Coach Live say it for a long, long time. I said it for a long, long time. I'm not a good enough coach to make anybody a great player in 4 days. But what I could do is that I could give you kind of the tools that if you go and practice them in your driveway, at the YMCA, at the CVCO, at the park, if you go and commit some time to doing dribbling drills and ball handling drills and shooting drills and, play 1-on-1 against people, play in good 3-on-3 or 5-on-5 games. And if you do it long enough and you're committed to doing it, then you're going to see, the opportunity for you to improve. You're not going to improve and become a great player from Monday to Friday at a basketball camp. It just doesn't happen. But what you can do is, get some things on your plate that if you commit to going and doing them, no matter if you're in 4th or 5th or 6th grade, or if you're a little bit more physically mature at 7th, 8th, or 9th grade, you're going to put yourself in position to see some progress and to get better. And maybe, develop an opportunity for yourself to be part of a team in the future and have an opportunity to play in a program.
Well, Mike, I think as your background alludes to, you got the trees, the sun, the clouds. Great day to be alive. It's a great time to be at the Michael Joseph Basketball Camp, July 12th through the 15th there in Cunningham. So, Mike, appreciate your time and best of luck at the camp.
Thanks, John. I always appreciate you guys giving us a shout out, whether it was when I was coaching at Hazleton area, whether it was myself or Coach Gavio, giving us a shout out, and I appreciate you getting some information out there about this camp. I really enjoyed talking to you again today. Thanks, John.
Always one of the best in the business. Mike Joseph, thank you.